Hey everyone, it's Gaga Voice over here. So today we're going to be trying something a little bit new. We're going to try to be doing a story with the character I use to stream. And we're going to see how it goes. If you don't like it, let me know. Just say a comment if you want him to go. If not, I think we're going to keep him. And if you like this video, again, a like, a subscribe, it would mean the world to me. Really trying to grow a nice little tight-knit family or community here. We're also hopefully starting on my gaming channel, Matsukaiga. So, besides that, this is What If Issei Was Betrayed and It Broke Him, Betrayed to Hell and Back. I hope you do enjoy. The first thing Issei noticed when he opened his eyes was that he was in a dense forest. Trees were everywhere that he could see. He had no idea where he was at, but something was off. Either he was somewhere where the climate was different, or more time had passed than he originally thought. It was cold, freezing cold. So I'm back, huh? Bahamut, is there some sort of time difference between the two realms? Issei asked in confusion. Yes, you are back in the world of the living, Issei. And yes, there's a difference. In the land of the dead, time is slowed down. So while you're there for a week or so, 3 or more weeks have passed here, Bahamut explained. Okay, then this is good. They think I'm gone for good. Ha! Yes again, Issei thought, with a chuckle and a clenched fist. You're right, partner. This is the perfect opportunity to work behind the scenes. But first, we need to get the group back together, Drake commented. You're right. Now find out where we are, Issei thought as he got off the ground. As soon as he got up, he felt soreness like he never did before. He groaned while stretching his arms and legs. Damn, you weren't kidding when my body said he would have to adapt to the world once he got back, Issei thought while stretching. What did you expect? You've been dead for 3 weeks. Of course you're gonna be sore, Bahamut retorted. Suck it up, partner. I know you're not a weakling. You faced far more dangerous foes than just common soreness, Drag laughed. Whatever, you overgrown lizards, Issei huffed. Okay, we need to find where we are. Too bad all I can see is trees. Gonna have to fly, Issei thought when he was trying to piece the puzzle together. Looks like there's no choice but to fly up and survey your surroundings, Drake commented. Issei released his wings and was surprised at what they looked like. The skin was blood red, while trimmings and appendages were a sleek gray. He decided to flap his wings a bit to get used to them, since he had always had devil wings instead of dragon ones. He was in awe of what his wings looked like. Grinning to himself, he crouched on the ground and flew straight up into the air. Scene break, abandoned church. Currently in the abandoned church, where the group is supposed to meet up, the 3 fallen angels are sitting upstairs while waiting for Issei to arrive. Soon a conversation started to brew between them. So we're really back, huh? Donasek asked sarcastically. Yeah, I know what you're feeling. It's surreal to be back here after being dead for quite some time, Rainier commented. And we have to Issei, Calhoun commented. Yeah, now that he's back with his new power, he will cover path annihilating anyone foolish enough to get in his way. Donasek chuckled at how this would play out. No doubt, but to make the dragon superior and have a faction, I don't see that happening just yet. He certainly has priorities that needs to be taken care of first, Rainier spoke. No doubt, he's not going to be the one to charge first. Head on first without a plan. He's too smart for that, Rainier added. As he has the power to back up all that too, as well. Many people will know what it means to be truly terrified, Donasek said. That power he has, Sphere of Annihilation, a truly devastating attack, Rainier added. Yes, there's no doubt about the energy he had. It was godlike, Rainier spoke. So what do we do for now, Donasek asked. Well, first we wait for him to get back wherever he is. He will be here soon. We have to stay hidden too. If we're found out without him here, we would be dead, Rainier replied. They all agreed on that, and so they waited for Issei to meet them at the church. Scene break. Unknown. As Issei flew up, he couldn't really see anything at all. Just trees as far as he could see. He assumed he was in one big forest, with all the green he saw. He couldn't see any landmarks or anything that could point him in the right direction. Came up with a risky idea. If went wrong, could spell trouble before he could get anything done. So he flew to a clearing and sat down and started to meditate. As he started to leak his aura, he simultaneously searched for anyone that would happen to be in the area. He found quite a number of them, but they were quite off in the distance, so he got up and quickly flew to the area where he sensed presences. He needed to leave the area quickly since he had released quite an amount of his power. Anyone in the area would sense it and come to investigate. He did not need anyone to know that he was alive along with his new group. Eventually, after about 15 minutes of flying, he came across a shrine with a hill with some workers attending to it. The shrine looked familiar to him. It was the one that Akano used as a house before moving into the Kyoto residence. Looks like they rebuilt it. So I was near Kuo, but still off in the distance. Well, time to head to the church, Issei thought as he tucked his wings and suppressed his aura. He snuck around the edge of the shrine to avoid any attention he didn't want right now, and proceeded to walk on the sidewalk, trying not to act suspicious to arouse any unwanted attention as he stood towards the abandoned church. He started thinking more about his plan. He needed allies, powerful ones that could hold their own against someone like Azazel or Sir Zex if needed. That's when he thought of the perfect first addition to his group, Tiamat, the Chaos Karma Dragon King. Partner, are you sure you want to go for her first? You may not like it since you're my host, I commented. Why? Does she hate you? Issei asked. Well, I may have promised her children before I got sealed away, so naturally she will hate you since you're my host, Drake explained. Well, whatever, she can hate me if she wants. I'll make her submit, Issei thought with a grin. Like a true dragon, Bahamut laughed. Just don't complain when she's pouncing on you trying to fuck your brains out, Drake snorted. You think I don't know that? I've dealt with that since the bastard's devils try to seduce me. I expect Rainier and Calwinair to make the exact same move on me eventually, she retorted. For now, let's focus on getting a plan in motion, Bahamut commented. Tiamat lives in the familiar forest, so I will need to find a way there without causing too much suspicion. But for now, I need to get to the church, Issei thought. So he started walking towards the church while thinking of what to do along the way. Soon after a while of walking, he came to a stop and found himself on a familiar street, the one where his old house was. He quickly suppressed his aura even more to avoid detection as he slowly walked, trying not to attract attention. Soon his old house came into view. He sneered at it, looked at it. Obvious to him that they were still there. He had to fight the urge to burn everything and everyone in it to the ground. That was until Drake stepped in to placate his host. Partner, you need to calm down. You need to focus. You don't want to make a bad move this early in the game. Don't worry. They'll get what's coming for them. Tenfold, Drake said, trying to calm Issei down. Drake is right, Issei. I may be a dragon that only knew annihilation when I was young, but I'm not an idiot. You will get your vengeance soon enough, and everyone will know who you are and why you aren't to be taken lightly, Bahamut added. A growl escaped Issei's lips as he took one last look at his old house, and with a passion stronger than ever, made a promise that they would pay. He would make sure they did. So he decided not to go against his judgment and started to walk away back towards the church. He arrived at the base of the hill where the church resided. He cautiously looked at his surroundings to see if anyone was nearby. Once he found no one, he continued on his way. He had stopped before the church just to take another look. He couldn't feel anyone in this area, so either they abandoned him, which if they did, he would slaughter them. They might not have arrived yet, or they're suppressing their aura to avoid detection. He slowly crept up on the entrance, listening for any signs of movement within the church. Still no signs yet. He took a deep breath before lightly opening the door. He stepped slightly, trying to get a view of the place. "Anyone here?" Issei asked cautiously. That's when he felt it, the holy energy spike. He quickly dodged a light spear thrown at him. He didn't feel any killing intent, so it seemed like it was a joke. Like someone was playing with him. "Come out, guys," Issei huffed. "You got us, Issei. Nice reflexes," Donosik said as he stepped out of the shadows. He wasn't surprised that Donosik would play around like that. What surprised him was the bone-crushing hug he was soon enveloped in by Rainier and Calwinair. "Issei, you're finally here," screeched Rainier while hugging him. "What took you so long?" Calwinair asked, confused. "I guess when I was ejected my pieces, they teleported my body to some random spot to avoid dealing with the mess. When I woke up in the forest at the edge of Kuo," Issei explained. "So you guys have you guys been found out at all? Anyone come near the church?" Issei asked cautiously. "Not yet. We hid our presences so no one would detect it," Rainier answered. "Okay, then first things first, well, I still have a few days to spare before my transformation starts. We're gonna work on setting up our group," Issei said. "How do you mean?" Donosik asked. "Well, first I need a place to stay that can hold a good number of people. I have a few ideas, but I want to hold off on those until I get a good idea of what to expect." Donosik and Calwinair, you two are in charge of getting temporary place to stay, while me and Rainier are gonna do some recon to see what has changed since I'm gone. Remember, stay hidden. Don't let the devils know you're back," Issei said. "Got it, Issei," Donosik said. "We'll take care of it," Calwinair added. "What are we doing?" Rainier asked curiously. Everyone else wanted to know. "We're gonna stop by the RSC room since the school should be over and since it's almost nighttime. I need some information about something," Issei answered. "What is it?" "I need a way into the familiar forest," Issei replied. Everyone was shocked. They didn't know why he wanted to go there since he was no longer a devil. "Why the familiar forest? You're not a devil, so you can't get a familiar," Donosik asked in confusion. "I'm not going there for a familiar. I'm going there for Tiamat, the Chaos Karma Dragon," Issei responded. Everyone was completely shocked due to the fact that everyone knew that name. Who didn't? One of the Dragon Kings Issei aimed to recruit? "Are you serious?" Calwinair spoke fearfully. "Yes, I am. Don't worry, I'm stronger than most dragons, so I'm gonna have to make her submit in a battle. We'll be fine. Remember, I am building the dragon faction back up," Issei responded. "Alright, you do have a point," Donosik added. "You two focus on finding somewhere to stay. Rainier, come on, we're heading out," Issei said as he started towards the door. Rainier followed suit with him, while Calwinair and Donosik stayed behind, thinking about how to get a place to stay. Scene break, Kuo Academy. Currently, Issei and Rainier find themselves outside the gates of Kuo Academy. They are prepared to sneak into the RC room. "You ready?" Issei asked Rainier. "Of course I am. Of course I'm ready. Let's go," Rainier responded with a grin. Soon both of them walked towards the gate and headed towards the ORC room. Like Issei thought, everyone was gone since it was after school. He looked around to see if anyone was near that had stayed after school. After not seeing anyone, he walked to the door of the ORC room. "It's locked," Issei huffed. "Let me take care of it," Rainier spoke, while walking up to the door, then crouching. She was picking a lock. "Of course you know how to pick a lock," Issei laughed. "Of course, what do you expect? I'm a fallen angel," Rainier retorted. Soon the door was open, and they stepped inside, closing the door behind them. They came into the main room. "What are you can't speak. What exactly are we looking for?" Rainier asked curiously as she walked over towards Rias' desk. "Any information that we can use to get to the familiar forest. Maybe a stray devil list or something like that. Basically a way to find a devil that can tell us how to get there," Issei replied. After 10 minutes of searching the room, Rainier came across something that could help, but it was risky. Issei, I may have found something, Rainier said, motioning to him to come take a look. What is it? Issei replied as he walked over. He walked over to see Rainier, looking at some type of event board, probably one for the club to fake what they really did. But there were a few entries that really didn't fit. A party, Issei muttered while thinking. According to the list, it's a party at the family estate, Rainier commented. Well, this is weird, Issei muttered. Do you think it's something else? Most likely. Wait, something about the Young Devils gathering Reyes mentioned a while before I left. I think the houses are meeting for a raiding game, but between Sona and Reyes. This is perfect. Just in time to make my return public, along with getting a free ticket straight to the familiar forest. Sir Zex will be there soon. This will be fun, Issei replied with a grin. Just you wait, you bastards. It's almost your time, Issei thought with a shit-eating grin. That is it for Chapter 5, The Return. Chapter 6, Party Crashing. At the abandoned church, the four of them made a little living space downstairs after they cleaned it up. It was still temporary, as Donasik and Calwainer didn't manage to secure a new place to start their group officially. They were currently discussing the plan to crash the Young Devils gathering. Some were skeptical at the idea of barging in a whole building filled with high-class devils, but Issei didn't mind. He said that anyone who dared step in his way would be disintegrated. So when are we going? Asked Donasik. Reyes and the group haven't left school yet, so in a day or two, we will use that time to get prepared. Make no mistake, there will be enemies, so you need to be prepared to take them on. I will handle the ones that are too powerful for you. My main objective is to make an example out of Sir Zex, so that everyone knows that if they step in my way, I will not hesitate to kill them. I'm not gonna kill Sir Zex. No, that would be too easy of a punishment. I got a better idea. Maybe I'll rip his wings out. What's a devil without his wings? Issei explained. Whatever you do to him, make sure you leave a mark. You need to make them know they can't mess with you, Donasik commented. Yep, I got that down, Issei responded. So what about the dragon faction? How are you going to turn people into dragons? Calwainer asked. I'll ask Bahamut real quick. It could be useful to know before we leave. You guys are going to be the first to do the transformations. It will make you incredibly more stronger, Issei responded. Bahamut, how do I turn these three into dragons? Issei asked curiously. Dragon's essence. Every dragon has it. It's essentially what they were before they were born, Bahamut explained. What do you mean exactly? Issei asked, confused. Dragons are actually masses of energy that go into a state similar to metamorphosis. Every dragon has its own unique essence that decides what type it is, and how powerful it can become, Bahamut explained. Then okay then, how do I get the dragon's essence? Issei asked, once again confused. Normally you couldn't get it. Only God-class beings have the power to extract their own essence and use it. But since you have Bahamut, now he can do it for you, Drag added. Alright, tell me how to do it. It's called Dragon's Essence. It's called Dragon's Essence, so I guess it's what dragons are actually made of before they are born, Issei explained. So, are we going to become dragons? Rainier asked curiously. Yep, this is a dragon faction after all, Issei responded. Okay, let's do it, Calwainer spoke. Bahamut, how do I turn them? Issei asked curiously. Just hold out your right hand and I'll do the rest, Bahamut spoke. Issei then held out his right hand. Soon there was a pale glow around his whole arm as it started to grow. Soon it was all condensed into 3 small spheres of pure energy. But these were different. He could tell it was pure life force. Just place 1 sphere in each of their hands and they will absorb it. Transformation will take about 7 hours for the body to accept the new life force and replace the old one. They will pass out for most of the duration. After they awake, they will be part dragon, Issei. Bahamut explained. They all looked to each other for a few times. After a few minutes of their own thinking, they all nodded their heads. They were ready. Then he placed one sphere in Rainer's hand to test it. As soon as it touched her skin, it instantly absorbed. She then gained a gray pale glow around her. How do you feel, Issei? Asked. Like an adrenaline rush, but stronger and more potent, Rainer replied. Soon the glow intensified as her eyes started to dim in and out like she was losing a battle to sleep. Soon she collapsed. Bob was caught by Issei, who proceeded to place her on the makeshift bed. Then he looked at the two others. Are you ready? Issei asked. They nodded their heads as he placed a sphere on each of their hands. It was absorbed as fast as Rainer's was. The pale glow followed after. And they admitted to the same feeling Rainer had, and soon they followed suit, passing out like her. After he did that, Issei soon felt exhausted, but he didn't know why. Bahamut, why am I so tired after using the dragon's essence? Issei asked, confused. Because I used your life force to make the dragon's essence. Don't worry, nothing fatal will come of it. Come because of it. Just sleep it off, Bahamut explained. Issei sighed as he felt the tiredness creep into his body, laying himself down on the bed next to Rainer. He embraced her and snuggled in as he soon fell asleep. He needed to be ready when they revealed themselves at the young devil's gathering. A few hours later, Issei suddenly awoke, sat up, rubbing his eyes, trying to get the sleepiness out of his system. He looked over to the three fallen angels to see they were still passed out, but he could tell the transformation was almost done. He could smell it on them, and their breathing was steady enough to know that they were fine. He got up, stretched. He figured that he had about an hour or two before they woke up, so he decided to walk outside. As he walked around, he remembered. He remembered all the times he had here with his old friends. He sneered at how he was blatantly tricked and deceived without even seeing through it. He started asking himself if he regretted the way he went out. Without a doubt, he didn't. It only made his resolve stronger than before to make sure they paid for what they did. As he walked along the sidewalk, he passed the cool academy gates. He failed to notice the two girls looking at him with extreme shock, especially Katse and Moriyama. They looked at each other with astonished looks. The school was already over for the day, but he was gone for a month. Conversation started brewing. Is that Hyodo? Moriyama asked her friend next to her. I think so, but he looks different. I can't put my finger on it, Katse responded. They didn't even know what to think, so they did the natural and went after him, since their kendo practice was already over and they were on their way home. So they chased after him. Hey, Hyodo! Moriyama shouted to get his attention. That spooked Issei hugely. What the fuck? Issei thought cautiously. He decided to hightail it as fast as he could. He was deciding to hightail it as fast as he could, or he could turn around to see who was calling his name. Slowly, he turned around to see the two kendo girls walking towards him, and he cursed inwardly as they were the ones to find him first. Yes, Issei asked cautiously. Where the hell have you been? 4 weeks you disappear, and now you suddenly just pop up? Did you and the ORC have an argument or something? They were acting like you didn't even exist, Katse asked. Issei just scoffed at that. Yeah, something like that, Issei responded, uninterested. Whoa, what do you expect? You should have known they didn't really like you. You're a pervert and excessive one at that, Katse responded back at him. That ticked him off big time. Listen, don't judge me just because I happen to enjoy the female body. Don't talk like you know me. I'm not a crazy-ass pervert like you think I am. I happen to already have 2 girlfriends that actually care for me, unlike that backstabbing band of bastards you call the ORC Club, Issei shouted in fury. Both of them were shocked beyond belief. They didn't know what to say. It was evident they were crossing lines. So if you have nothing else to say, I have to go to take care of some errands, Issei spoke before leaving. The 2 of them just stood there, mouth agape, about thinking what they did. That's when they both noticed something odd about Issei. Did you see his eyes? Gate asked. Yeah, they were like a reptilian's, Muramaya responded. They both didn't know what it meant, but nonetheless they witnessed it, and they would actually know what it all meant. And they would know what it all meant, and why he was the way sooner rather than later. Issei was beyond furious. He could barely contain it anymore. He quickly teleported to some deserted area to vent his frustration. He needed to so he could keep a cool head on his shoulders when his group went to the underworld. He looked over to see a mountain, then he roared as loud as he could, shouting out all of his fury in one wrathful cry of anger. All around him, the ground started to shake as huge earthquakes started to form from the epicenter. A crater started to form underneath him as the pressure increased wildly. He soon released all of his pent-up rage in one huge sphere of annihilation, throwing it at the mountain as quickly as he could. He watched as it hit the massive rocks, and it started to shake and crumble till there was nothing left of it. After it all was over, he was breathing in and out deeply. He realized he made quite a show of power, and soon the supernatural world would be here to investigate. So he quickly left the area, teleporting back to the church. He sighed to himself as he walked inside. Walking downstairs to where everyone else was resting, he arrived to see Rainier starting to awaken from her sleep. She sat up slowly, rubbing her eyes and stretching. How are you feeling? Super sore, like most of my joints and sockets have been dislocated and put back in again and again. Rainier responded while stretching. What's the matter with you? I can tell something happened by your expression. Rainier asked curiously. I met some of my old schoolmates while I was walking around an hour or 2 ago. They don't really like me, so I kind of got frustrated about some of the stuff they said, Issei explained after sighing. What did they say about you? Well, before I turned a devil, they didn't like me because I was peaky, because of the peeking I did of them, but I had my reasons. Now, a month after disappearing, they think they know me. It was just so annoying the way they were judging me, Issei explained. Well, whatever they say about you, it's not true. You definitely have changed. You're not the same Issei Hyodo I know anymore. You were born anew, Rainier said sincerely. Issei did something expected after that. He felt something stirring in his guns. He launched forward, bringing Rainier into a tight embrace. He didn't know what caused the sudden action, but he wasn't complaining. It surely shocked Rainier, but she didn't mind as she quickly embraced him back. He didn't mind it at all. It actually helped him a lot with his worries. But something else was about to happen that changed both of them, and there was going to be no going back whatsoever. Suddenly, Rainier raised her head and quickly forced her mouth into Issei's. His eyes were widening to the eyes of saucers. He was beyond astonished, but nonetheless, his eyes closed as he reciprocated his feelings. They continued after about 5 minutes until a forced cough was heard near him. Issei and Rainier quickly separated to see Rainier with a sly smile and Donasik with a smirk. Anything we missed? Rainier said coyly. Don't butt in, Rainier said back to her. You won't be able to keep him to yourself forever, Rainier said. That's when she walked up to Issei, swaying her hips provocatively, and kissed Issei with a ferocity. Of course, Issei was shocked once again before wrapping his arms around her back. She quickly pulled away and looked at Rainier with a smile. Oh boy, Issei thought, as he knew there was going to be a fight. Partner, what did I tell you? 2 new girls in your harem, Drake chuckled at the scene before him. Dragon's blood for you, boy, Bahamut chuckled. Okay, enough. We need to be ready for tomorrow. We'll deal with this later. Today is a free day. You get Get some rest for tomorrow. By the way, how do you two feel? Issei asked Kawainer and Donaseek. Sore as fuck, Donaseek replied dryly. Sore too, but I feel like my senses have been being stronger for the most part, Kawainer added. Okay, you guys should have partial dragon form now. It's basically changing between your fallen forms, Issei said. Three of them looked to each other real quick, and soon each of them gained crimson scales and razor-sharp claws and dragon wings that replaced their fallen ones. Cool, Rainier shouted before reverting back to normal form. Awesome, Donaseek muttered while looking at his claws. Pretty cool, Kawainer added. Soon everyone did their own thing for the rest of the day as they prepared for their plan tomorrow. Scene break. Morning. It was the morning that they were going to make their group known to the three factions. We currently find Issei looking out the window with a serious face as he was waiting for the others to get up. Soon everyone was up and ready. Issei turned to them to make sure they were ready for what was about to take place. Are you guys ready? Once we step through the circle, there is no going back, Issei asked. Of course. Let's beat the shit out of some devils, Donaseek grinned. Of course. Let's go, Rainier shouted. Of course. Let's do this, Kawainer smiled. Okay then, Issei replied. As they walked out of the church that morning, they knew nothing would stop them, as they would defeat anyone in their way. As soon as they stood outside, they waited for Issei to finish the coordinates of the circle. The plan was to teleport to a nearby mountain near the Gremory estate. Soon the circle was ready. He looked at the three of them once again. He gave them all a nod and walked in. Scene break. Underworld. As they stepped out of the circle, they encountered something they didn't expect. Even Issei was at a stump at what was going on. A barrier, Issei muttered in confusion. Someone else attacking, Kawainer commented. Chaos Brigade, probably, Issei replied. The three fallen didn't know who that was. Who? Donaseek asked. I forgot. You guys haven't heard of them. Since they appeared after a while, you died. They're a terrorist organization made out of several groups. The Hero faction and the Old Satan faction are mostly known group in it. No doubt there's more. Their group is led by Ophis, the Ouroboros dragon god, and she wants to defeat Great Red. Well, most of them just want world domination. You've got guys like Beelzebub, Cow, Rizvim, Liven, Lucifer. The White Dragon Empress actually went to their side just for the fighting. She was always a battle maniac, Issei explained to them. The group was shocked. The group was shocked that there was a group going around doing what they wanted. They sound horrible, Kawainer said. No doubt, Rainier said with narrowed eyes. This is perfect. Two groups fighting against each other, and we interrupt both of them and make quite the scene, making them both fear and know who we are. We are and what we aim for, Issei spoke. The three of them was astonished at his quick thinking in the situation. He was truly a good planner. Pretty good way to kill two birds with one stone, Donaseek said. Good thing I brought masks to hide our faces. Here, put these on and don't take them off until I tell you. I can't wait to see the look on their faces when they see a ghost, Issei said as he handed out 3 dark-looking masks that covered their whole face. Good idea. Can't have them know who we are just yet, Kawainer said. Alright, that's fine, Donaseek said as he put on his mask. Rainier and Kawainer both took one as they put him on. Issei put on his and then took a look at what was happening down below at the estate. He could make out 2 main groups, Rias and her peerage against Doadora, Astaroth, and Shalba Beelzebub. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Please correct me if I'm not. He saw what appeared to be a Zazel fight and Sir Zax facing off against some people he didn't recognize. Probably more of the Chaos Brigade leaders. Okay, let's get down there, Issei said. As they descended the mountain following behind Issei, they continued on towards the estate. He eventually came to a stop as he encountered the barrier. Stand back. I'm going to release quite the amount of power on this barrier to shatter it, Issei said to the group. They nodded as they took a couple of steps back and watched as Issei suddenly floated up in the air above them. Then he charged a huge sphere of annihilation. It was the size of a boulder. Then he chucked it at the center of the barrier. Everyone felt the enormous amount of power that was packed densely into it. Scene break. Sir Zax and Azazel. As both Sir Zax and Azazel, along with the people they were currently fighting, struggled to get off the ground of the insane amount of power, they looked up to see the barrier shattered like it was nothing. "What the hell was that?" Sir Zax shouted fearfully. "That wasn't us. The barrier was made out of Ophis power." Ophis' power. Someone new just entered the arena with a crazy amount of power. One of the Chaos Brigade leaders said fearfully. Azazel looked like he was about to hightail it to the edge of the underworld and hide from whoever had that amount of power. Sir Zax looks severely scared for his family. Whoever it is, we're gonna have them join the Chaos Brigade, shouted a man. Or so he thought. I highly doubt that. Whatever their reason they are here, it isn't for you. They want something from the devils, and so they came here personally, as Azazel responded. Scene break with Rias and her peerage. Such devastating power, Rias muttered fearfully. Not that bad. I could take him, Shalbub Beelzebub said arrogantly. The group that was currently there forgot about what he just did. Izar Ganto had been sent to some place they didn't know. How can you say that? Akino asked incredulously. I have Ophis power within my hand. I could take him easily, mocked Shalba, unaware of the current situation. Are you so sure? Asked a new female voice. The group turned to suddenly see Vali with Azia in her hand, with Bioku and Arthur behind her. Vali, Asia, Ria said softly. We found her in the dimensional gap, but that power spike brought us here, Vali said before dropping Asa in Akino's arms. Now, Shalaba, are you so certain you can take on someone like that? Vali asked while narrowing her eyes. Of course, shouted Shalaba. She just sighed, but something piqued her interest about the power spike. It was familiar. That was when Albion's wings manifested on his own. Vali, do not antagonize the person with that power, Albion said aloud. Everyone was shocked at the heavenly dragon Albion making his presence known. Why? Vali asked curiously. You sense it, right? Albion said. What do you sense? Valerie asked curiously. That's when she felt it. The strange feeling that associated with him, the Red One. Gremory Eris, it's common knowledge that Issei Hyodo is dead, right? Vali asked. Yes, he didn't want to be in the peerage anymore, and he died when the pieces were ejected, Rhea lied with a smirk. Everyone else in our group had the same arrogant smirk plastered on their faces. Then you're an idiot to think if he's truly dead, Vali said. What do you mean? Rhea asked cautiously. The person that used that power, they have the scent of the Welsh dragon mixed with another being, Vali said. Their eyes all widened. They suddenly felt the coldest chill they ever felt go down their spines. Was he back to finish what he started? If so, how? No, it can't be, Akino said. Impossible. How? Kiba asked incredulously. Listen well, devils. If he has any resentment towards you, you're good as dead. If that being I am sensing is the one he thinks, he now stands above the Great Red and Ophis, Albion said cryptically. Everyone was now completely astonished and even fearful a little bit. Even Vali, the battle maniac, didn't know what to say. What do you mean? Rias asked fearfully. Long ago, there was another dragon that was insanely powerful. So powerful, even Great Red was defeated without a sweat. This dragon disappeared long before the Great War. His name was Bahamut, the Annihilation Dragon. If he has granted Issei his power, Issei is now a dragon god, Albion said. Shalbia looked like he shit his pants. Fuck, keep it cool. He thought he could take on that? He started back away slowly. The rest of Ria's group was scared shitless. They had a reason to be. Vali was now completely silent. No words could be uttered. She was about to speak when suddenly the wall was blown to smithereens, leaving a gaping hole, revealing 4 masked figures. No one dared to move. Vali was now certain as she could feel the red dragon's presence. But who was with him? Darling, I think you broke them, Rainier said under their mask. That's when Azazel and Surzek came into the room with everyone else. They didn't know what the others knew, so they were completely in the dark. Honey, Can we get on with the show already? Galwanair said. What was about to happen shocked everyone, mostly Issei. So, honey, you bitch! Issei is mine, Galwanair. Rainier shouted at her. You gotta learn to share, Rainier. Donaseek added. Exactly, Rainier. You can't have him all to yourself all the time, Galwanair said. Everyone was astonished. Wasn't the fallen angels dead? How were they alive, and why were they with them? He with them. Well. Look what the garbage brought in, Issei said after removing his mask. He signaled for everyone to remove their masks, revealing Galwanair, Rainier, and Donaseek behind him. No one dared to move. What? Nothing to say? No hello, Issei? No sorry we fucking stabbed you in the back like a bunch of self-centered assholes? Guess not. Issei laughed. What do you want, Sir Zack? Zack asked. What do you want? Sir Zack asked while gritting his teeth. What do I want, Issei? Time for the show, boys and girls, Issei shouted. They had no idea what he meant by that. One, I'm here to teach you a lesson, Sir Zack. Personally, you're an example of what will happen if you get in my way, Issei said. Sir Zack and Azazel burst out laughing. They truly didn't know Oh, and how are you supposed to do that? How do you suppose you can do that? You can't defeat me, I'm a devil king, Sir Zack arrogantly. Azazel looked just as amused as the fallen angels. Everyone knew. Else just started blacking slowly up from the one-sided fight. Before anyone knew it, Issei had his fist right in Sir Zack's gut, piercing his whole stomach as he looked up with wide eyes. How? Sir Zack asked fearfully. Albion had it right, Issei said. That sealed the deal. There was no going back. They knew they would pay tenfold. What do you mean, Azazel said. Bahamut, was all Issei said. Azazel's eyes widened along with Sir Zack's. Everyone that had a high position knew of the Annihilation Dragon God, whose only purpose was to destroy. Impossible. You're lying it. Azazel said. Want me to prove it? Mocked Issei. Before anyone else could say anything, the Armageddon descent manifested on his right arm, and Bahamut then spoke to everyone in the room with a voice that commanded power. You believe him now! You've all angered my host beyond belief. It is time for your punishment. The three factions are no longer on the top of the list. I hereby state that the dragons will rise once again to the top. He will be the one to bring the dragons back to their rightful status. The three fallen have already been turned to dragons. The dragon factions will be reborn anew. Bahamut said aloud, commanding everyone listening to its commanding presence. Everyone was completely shocked beyond belief. He was back for good, and he had a goal that would be near the end of the near end of the three factions. They just hoped it would be over soon. Now back to business, Sir Zack. Your wings or your life? Issei asked with cold-heartedly. No one said a word or dared to attack him. Sir Zack just looked as if he was seeing the personification of death itself. What? Sir Zack asked fearfully. Fine. You don't want to cooperate? Then your wings will be ripped out one by one until they are all gone, shouted Issei. The gruesome scene that played before them made them piss themselves as Issei brutally pulled Sir Zack's wings out one by one, leaving nothing left but a broken man on the floor, bloodied. Now on to the next piece of business. He looked at Rise, who started to flee, but he was faster. He appeared right in front of her. Don't think you're gonna get away, you bitch, snarled Issei. Now open a magic circle to the familiar forest or else, shouted Issei. Everyone still didn't make any movements. They didn't know what to do. She quickly stumbled back as she prepared the circle. Everyone else was truly frightened. Soon the circle was complete as it lit up with the coordinates. He walked towards it, and his group followed. He looked at the others in the room with a cold glare, warning anyone to get in his way that they would pay the ultimate price before he fully stepped into the circle and looked at Azazel, whose sweat dropped profusely. You're next, Azazel, Issei said before he and his group teleported to their destination, leaving a whole shaken up family of devils. That was it. Chapter 6, Party Crashing. Wow, that was a big chapter, and I hope you all did enjoy. Issei is finally starting on his path of revenge, and he damn well deserves it. Well, that's just my thoughts. But if you did enjoy, please, a like and a follow would mean the world to me, as I really do enjoy posting this content, and I want to know that you enjoy it as well. But that is all for today. This has been Kaiga Voiceover. Goodbye.